So if you remember from yesterday's notes, I told you there were 2 steps to factoring. We kind of ignored the first one yesterday, but we're going to go back to it. The first step every time we factor is that we need to make sure you look for a GCF first. Then, if a quadratic remains, what is a quadratic? The exponent is 2, or the degree is 2. So if a quadratic remains, then you can factor using guess and check like we did with these examples above here. So a couple steps we're looking for. Let's take a look at our first example. These are going to be kind of mixed in your notes with ones that, on your homework with ones that don't have GCFs. So we got to pay attention and make sure we're checking every single time. So what's the GCF of letter A, if there is a GCF? Jaden. Perfect. We're going to take out that 2. And then remember, when we take out a GCF, we have the GCF on the outside of the parentheses and then some leftovers. Let's figure out what goes inside those leftovers. To figure that out, I'm going to divide each piece by 2. So 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. 10x divided by 2 is plus 5x. And 12 divided by 2 is plus 6. Everybody still with me? So now we double check. Is this a quadratic? Is the highest degree here 2? Yes, so we can keep going. When I continue, it is very important that you drop your GCF down with you into the next line. That has to be in your final answer. Then we're going to split that trinomial into 2 binomials with our bubbles. And we're going to factor exactly like we have been factoring for the last day. So I'm going to find factors of my first term, x and x. Factors of 6, 1 and 6, 2 and 3. What do I want to use here to get to 5? Think about it. Think about the 1 and 6. If I could do 6 minus 1, right? That gets me 5. But are negative 1 and 6 ever going to get me a positive 6 when I multiply them? No. So that's a good way that we're guessing and checking. Some of these look right, but they're not right. So we're going to try 2 and 3 instead. We have 2x here. We have 3x here. I know I want a positive 5, so both of those should be positive. And then this whole thing is my answer, right? We're going to check and make sure. This GCF is in the front. It kind of just hangs out there. Then I have in the middle this 5x. I have x squared. And I have a 6. And then I got to do one more step to check by distributing it all back out. Does that match what my original says? Yes. So my check is good. It's a lot of steps. Any questions on that? Let's do it again. Is there a GCF here? What is it? Cody says 4. I like 4. What else do we need, though? Negative 4. Remember, your GCF should always match the sign in the front. So if that's a 4, it's got to be a negative 4 in the front. We're going to divide out negative 4 out of all of these pieces. So what's left over is a x squared minus 10x plus 16. Can I continue? How do I know? Because the degree is 2. So now I'm going to drop that GCF down, and I'm going to put 2 bubbles. X and x. What do we want to try here for factors of 16? Okay, we're going to check. 8x, 2x. How do I get to negative 10? What are my signs? Both minus. So this should be my answer. We're going to double check off to the side here. Got my GCF on the outside. In the middle, I have a negative 10x. I have an x squared, and I have a positive 16. I distribute, oh, sorry, I forgot my negative. Negative 4x squared plus 40x minus 64. Does that match my original? We're good to go. This whole thing is my answer. Any questions on that? Take a look at C. In the state that this equation is in right now, can we factor that into two bubbles? Just in the state that it's in right now. Why not? Because the degree is 3. So we got to do something to it before I can factor it into two bubbles. What can I take out of this? What's my GCF here? A negative 2. What else? X. X to the first, right? Because that's an x to the first over here. So let's divide everything by negative 2x to the first. And I've got some leftovers. So remember, when we're dividing out our variables, we're dividing the numbers by themselves. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. X to the third and x to the first, you're subtracting those exponents. So that's like x squared. Negative 22x squared divided by negative 2x to the first. That's going to be a positive 11x. And then a negative 36 divided by negative 2 is positive 18. And my x to the first are going to cancel out. Now can we factor that into two bubbles? Yeah, because we have a degree of 2, right? So I drop my GCF down. It's not going anywhere. It's sticking with me. First in the bubbles, x and x. Second in the bubbles, 18. Factors of 18. What do we want to pick here? Nine and 2. Okay, we're going to check. 9x, 2x. Positives, negatives, one of each. What are we thinking here? Both positives. Okay, off to the side, we're going to double check. Here's my GCF. Oops. Negative 2x. On the inside, I have 11x. I have x squared. And I have 18. I'm going to distribute it. Negative 2x to the third. Negative 22x squared. Negative 36x. Does it match? All the signs are the same. All the numbers are the same. The exponents are the same. We're good to go here. Here's my answer. We got one more. One more, and then I promise we're done. Okay, first step. Who's helping me? What do we do first? Who's helping me? What do I do first? Find the GCF. What's my GCF here? Jaden? Negative 5. I cannot take an x out of this, so don't try to take an x out. The thing is, I can't take an x out of this 150. There's no x to begin with. I can't take an x out. Then, what do I get as my leftovers when I do this division, when I take out my negative 5? What's left over? Chaz? Okay. You want to keep going? Perfect. Okay, drop that GCF down. 2 bubbles. Ooh. X and X go in there. What about factors of 30? What do we want to pick? Positives, negatives, one of each. Okay, which one's positive, which one's negative? Perfect. 10 minus 3 gets me 7. Okay, let's check, and then we're done. Put that GCF out in the front. Negative 3x and 10x make 7x. X and x make x squared. Negative 3 and positive 10 make negative 30. Distribute negative 5x squared minus 35x plus 150. All my numbers, all my exponents, all my signs look the same, so I'm done. Any questions on that? Again, make sure that you're checking your work in your homework. There is no answer key, so you got to check it yourself to get a stamp.